What's up, y'all? Hope everybody out there is having a great day. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. But before I get to it, let me just say, New Jersey, go out there and vote. You got an election going on. Virginia, go out there and vote. You got an election going on. New York City, same thing. California, go vote. You got an election going on. So super important stuff. I hope everybody gets out there and goes to the polls if you haven't yet in those places. But there's a lot of stuff to dive into. So in just a second, we're going to talk about how the Pentagon is saying absolutely terrifying things. And they're saying that they reserve the right to commit the most egregious crime imaginable. So we're going to talk about that. It is ugly. Then we're going to go on to talk about how AI videos have reached a point now where something's got to be done, bro. We cannot just continue business as usual because they could just fool anybody, never mind gullible people. At this point, they could fool anybody. So we'll talk about that. We also have Ted Cruz goes after Nick Fuentes and regrets it immediately. We have Mossad admitting that in the same way they booby-trapped the pagers that blew up, that were supposed to kill Hezbollah members but got a lot of civilians too. They say they have all sorts of electronics booby-trapped all across the world, which is a terrifying thought. And we'll also get to, is Trump hiding a very serious medical condition, and what evidence is there to that effect? We got a lot of speculation going on, man. A lot of speculation, and we're going to dive into it. So you guys know the drill. Everybody, please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively and costs you nothing at all. You could also support the show on Patreon. Remember, this is real independent media. You'll never catch me talking to an advertiser or doing an ad read or talking to a billionaire or talking to a government or a PAC or anything like that. You guys made this show independent. So if you give $2 a month, it helps out a lot. $5 a month, it helps out a lot. The Patreon link is below. You can also tip with that thanks button on YouTube, which is below me right now. Or you can support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. And also definitely go sub to Corin's World on YouTube, where we do live Kyle and Corin episodes every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. So let's start with this here. The New Republic has sort of a terrifying new article out, and the title is the following: Trump boat bombings worsen as new horror shakes experts. Quote, alarm bells. Remember the Southern Command admiral who resigned 2 weeks ago? Well, Hill Republicans haven't heard from him, and they don't want to. So in other words, Republicans in Congress know, as a matter of fact, well, Trump's committing crimes, Hegseth is committing crimes, they're blowing up random innocent people on fishing boats. Everybody knows that. We all know that. We're not going to stop it. We're going to let them do whatever they want to do. And so the admiral who resigned, because obviously he's got some horror stories about the things they were asking him to do, which are wildly immoral and unethical and illegal. They're like, just shut the fuck up and go away. We don't want to think about you. We don't want to talk to you. We don't want to hear what you have to say, because he would be pissing in the punch bowl. He would be throwing a wrench into their plans of illegal regime change in Venezuela based on total lies. So this is what people need to understand. We've already hit the point where it's like George W. Bush with Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. No, he doesn't. That's a total lie. Everybody knows that's a lie. Now, here we are, decades later, it's one of the most laughable and egregious lies in American political history. Well, now we're seeing the same shit. Oh, Maduro is the head of this narco-terrorist gang. Meanwhile, if you go look at the numbers, literally no fentanyl comes from Venezuela. None of it. So they lied. They lied about that. They're also lying that these are drug smuggling boats. They don't even have enough gas to reach the U.S., and they're saying they're smuggling shit into the U.S. They'd have to refuel 20 times to get anything to the U.S., and there's also no evidence there's any drugs anywhere. They were literally using pictures, MAGA was, from 2012, showing drug boats going, libs say these aren't fucking drug boats. No, you're showing a picture from 2012. The new boats that you're blowing up are all dinghy fishing boats, most of them Venezuelan, some of them Colombian, some from Trinidad and Tobago. But they, like, guys, I need you to understand, as crazy as you think it is, it's actually crazier. These are grown-ass men making the decision to murder random people in terror attacks in the Caribbean, and then they're covering it up. But it gets worse. Look at this. We're highlighting this from the New Republic article. This is very bad. Representative Adam Smith tells me that in briefings, Pentagon officials said they reserve the right to kill people who are, quote, affiliated with their list of narco-terror groups, but under questioning, they wouldn't define what affiliated means. So now let me read. This is directly from the article. The administration has designated drug cartels as terrorist organizations while claiming Trump has inherent constitutional authority to order the strikes to defend the country against attacks. But as legal experts note, This gives Trump the power to unilaterally execute civilians who are not in any meaningful sense akin to terrorist groups or waging war against the United States, with zero due process. Meanwhile, lots of evidence casts doubt on whether some of these people were even trafficking drugs to the United States in the first place. Smith said the official legal rationale offered in this week's Armed Services Committee briefing, has gotten even more troubling. He said the administration officials claimed they now have the authority to bomb people who are merely affiliated with groups that Trump has designated as narco-terrorists. But under questioning, they refused to say what affiliated even means. They did not in any way, shape, manner, or form explain what the ceiling and floor are for affiliated, Smith told me. Theoretically, that could go beyond whether they're in the actual action of moving drugs. So this is terrifying. They're starting now with narco-terrorists. We say you're affiliated with narco-terrorists so they can kill whoever they want on the seas, claiming that. They're also going to do it when it comes to Antifa terrorists. If you're an Antifa terrorist in the U.S., if you're affiliated with Antifa terrorists, we don't have to define it. We don't have to prove anything. We're just going to kill you and then say Antifa terrorist. We're going to kill you and say narco terrorist or affiliated with narco terrorists. And they won't even say what affiliated means. Do you not understand? This 100% is Trump trying to give himself the power of a king. That's what it is. And so he can be judge, jury, and executioner, and you can't say shit back. You can't say shit back. You can't fucking assert your rights. You can't get in front of a judge. You can't prove your worth or your citizenship or anything. And this is what we've opened the door to now. This is what's happening now. And so what Trump did is he mixed together the worst elements of the war on drugs and the worst elements of the war on terror, and he now made them one. Effectively, he's doing exactly what Duterte in the Philippines did. And by the way, he's up on literal war crimes charges now. But Duterte in the Philippines decided, I'm just going to do a genocide of not only drug dealers, but also drug users. And he started mass killing people. He started allowing the cops to mass kill people. This is Trump saying, we're going to give a green light to anybody in the military. You kill whatever dinghy fishing boat you don't like the look of, you can blow these motherfuckers to smithereens, bro. You can do it in the Pacific. You can do it in the Caribbean. You can go all day, every day. And now, guys, I got to be honest with you. I lost count. What are we at? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 boats that they've blown up. And now the total of dead people is 60 or more dead people is what we're talking about. And again, you don't see any pushback internally from Republicans. None whatsoever. The most you got is an admiral fucking stepping down and then shutting up, right? And then other Republicans saying, muzzle that guy. Don't let him say shit. Right? And then on the Democratic side, they're not talking about it much. Shout out to Ro Khanna, who has been talking about this. But in terms of the Democratic Party, in terms of the media, people are they're really not recognizing the dire situation that we're in, that literally all of our rights are being trampled on. And this guy is deputizing people with guns to be his execution squad. That's what they're doing. And so this is not good. This is not good. And you mix this with NSPM 7 and the fact that they're considering you terrorist adjacent if you're anti-Christian, anti-capitalist, anti-American, if you're an extremist on race, religion, and gender. They look at that and they say, oh, we're going to investigate you. We're going to ruin your life. We're going to put you through the ringer. We're going to fucking spy on you with Palantir, try to blackmail you. You look at that. You look at that and you go, we don't even have a fucking country anymore. We have like a bunch of war criminals and billionaires looting and pillaging the country and spying on all their enemies and trying to make you their slave peasant. That's where we're at. And so blowing up some innocent people in the Caribbean, they love it. They love it. They live for it. They'll lie about it. And it's like, here's the thing. I think it's hard for a lot of everyday Americans to really wrap their mind around the degree of evil that we're dealing with here when it comes to Trump, when it comes to MAGA, when it comes to Pete Hegseth's Pentagon, when it comes to Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. I don't think it's so hard for them to wrap their minds around what these people actually are because it's so far into them personally. They think, look, I just go to work, try to pay my bills, try to take care of my family and be a good person. That's how most people are, right? But when you learn these people are killing civilians. They know they're killing civilians. They don't care. They're trying to overthrow Maduro, knowing Maduro is no threat to us and he's not going to attack us in any way, shape, or form. But they're still going to try to overthrow him. Why? They want to steal the mineral. They want to steal the mineral resources. They want to steal the oil, as Trump literally has said multiple times about Venezuela and Syria and Iraq and other places. And he wants Eric Prince to be able to illegally occupy another country and give him more work. That's what it is. It's hard for people to really grasp. No, these people are evil. These people are genuinely demonic. These people are acting like modern day Nazis is what they're doing. Modern day Nazis. Zero regard for human life. Zero regard for human life. Zero regard for independence and sovereignty of other countries. And are easily willing to sacrifice you at the altar of their fucking greed and their lust for dominance, control. So just understand what they're claiming. Trump's Pentagon is saying if you are affiliated with narco-terrorists, and it will be affiliated with Antifa, you're fair game. And you will be tarred and smeared by the state as either a terrorist or affiliated with terrorists. And if they murder you, they will hide the truth about who you are and what you believe and what your life was about. And so if you haven't woken up yet, it's time to fucking wake up. It's time to wake up and realize what we're up against. Because as dark as you think it is, believe me, it is way, way darker. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.